Hello and welcome back to Solid. My name is Jake. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Today is Saturday, April 19th, and your Battlehawks are now 2-2 after dropping another one to the Arlington Renegades 30-15 in a game that weirdly was much closer than that. Big thing, obviously, with this one is Manny Wilkins going down in the first drive, which that sucks. That's a big time bummer. Like that's not what you want. I'm assuming an Achilles thing. I don't know. I saw somebody on Twitter or something like that said I saw his they said quote I saw his Achilles pop. It's like you fucking didn't actually. When Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles and when Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles, you had to like get some super enhanced video to see it, and even that was like still questionable until like we really knew. To make the assumption that it's an Achilles, it's probably right, just because that's what happens to guys. But I mean, he's probably done. If definitely for the season, if not his career, that's tough. It was kind of that ended up being a really big play with a scoop and score off of that, which really that was stupid. Like initially, so I think the Battlehawks like that happened, and it was like, oh shit, they're gonna lose this game. And then a couple drives later, the Renegades scored again. It's like, oh well, at least that scoop and score off of the Manny fumble that didn't matter. At least that didn't matter at all because they're just gonna beat the shit out of this team. And then they didn't score for the next, I don't know, 2 hours. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Now that scoop and score, that really dumb one that Manny clearly gave himself up on because he had no other choice because his leg exploded. That's a big deal now. And I mean, it was a big deal until the last play of the game, pretty much. So that sucked. But it was the blow was kind of lessened a little bit when they mic'd up Donald Payne, that Renegades linebacker, and they had him mic'd up, and he's like, "Oh, I bit my lip." And then one of the announcers said, "Yeah, man, biting your lip is the worst when you're playing football." It's like, yeah, that's probably not worse than having your Achilles explode, but close. It's like, why did you say that? you didn't have to give your input on that. But now it seems like it's going to be the Max Duggan time. And Max Duggan, man, initially it seemed good. He what was it? I think he hit his first 6 passes in a row. Let me see if I can find that. Or maybe it was 5 passes. He hit his first 5 passes in a row, and initially they were kind of like dink and donkey kind of looking stuff. But then he ended up hitting a deeper one to Frank Darby, I think is who he hit, and it was like, okay, look at Max is feeling himself. And then the play after that, he threw an interception. It's like, oh well, damn it, yeah. So let's look. His first pass, Jake Sutherland. Yeah, that was the whole thing. The first pass that he threw was to a tight end. I was like, oh, maybe old Phil McGeegan kind of learned. Maybe Max is going to be doing this thing. But he hit Jake Sutherland, then he hit Frank Darby, and then he hit Gary Jennings. It was Denzel Mims was the first one. It's like, okay, he's hitting tight ends and he's throwing to Denzel Mims down the field. It's like, this might be a thing, man. This might be a thing. And then two throws later, he underthrew Gary Jennings Jr. really bad. And it's like, whoa, fuck. I wish he didn't do that. I was enjoying feeling good. He ended a streak of 5 straight completions with an interception. It's like, well, that is just a kick in the penis. That is what that one is. But then later on in the game, he did end up hitting Frank Darby on a deeper shot too. I don't know, my whole thing with him, it's like he clearly looked like a quarterback who is not a starter and did not get starting reps and has not had any starting reps at all. That's what that looked like to me. I'm holding out hope for Max Duggan. I don't, because I've granted it's been 3 years now, but I've seen Max Duggan play good football against not great defenses and everything like that. But then you find out later that Phil McGeegan, when Max came in, he just threw out his actual play chart and then it was doing his audible play charts. Like, well, that's Phil. It seems like you're almost just trying to make your job easier rather than trying to do the right thing. Anyway, I don't know. It was kind of fucked from an offensive standpoint on that front, kind of from the get go. Really, I mean, yeah, they had the initial juice right there, right off the bat, where Max went 5 for 5, but then after that, he went 3 for 12, which is not what you want at all. And then he also got sacked 6 times. And yeah, the offensive line didn't play that great again, but Max wasn't exactly helping him out. He just looked uncomfortable back there. I don't know. I'm not going to cast judgment on the dude after just seeing him one time against a good defense when we're finding out pretty quickly that the offensive line's first 2 games might have been a little bit of an anomaly there. So, but yeah, I'm holding out hope for Max. You saw that he had some juice with his legs too. Much better of a north and south runner than he is east and west. And they had him kind of doing some like designed runs / read options that took him out wide. It's like, let's just use him as a fullback, as not a fullback. It's just a big runner. Let's do that. And then it was really, really stupid at the end of the game when everything matters and your quarterback has completed 3 of his last 12 passes, and then they're like, what if we had Max throw in the red when it's third and fourth and goal? What if we did that instead of running the ball, which at that time they had been doing pretty efficiently with both, maybe not efficiently, they had been doing with relative success, relative obvious to the passing game success, and then they went away from that. They abandoned the run when they had to go 4 yards, and it went poorly, and he threw another interception, and I don't know, man, it just stunk. It was like this. We got that false hope at the beginning of the Max Duggan experience, and then the offense just sucked butt for the entire game, and play calling was not great. Man, the first note that I wrote when I was watching this was Ja'Cour Pearson's going to die. Like they did some like swing pass. It was the very first play of the game, and Ja'Cour Pearson just got absolutely fucking annihilated at when the ball hit his hands. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys, what are we doing? Why do you not like Ja'Cour Pearson? Then he fumbled later on, and then there was a punt after that, and he like didn't field the punt. And I'm looking at him like, honestly, I get it. Like, if I'm getting blown up as often as 5'6" Ja'Cour Pearson, I'm probably gonna be like, yeah, man, I don't necessarily want to get that punt. Like, it sounds like a really bad time. Like he should have, obviously, but he didn't. And then the defense was complete. And by the way, I'm gonna try to keep this one short because I have to get out of here to go to some kind of party. I'm not entirely sure what the hell it is. But as far as the defense went, banger for sure. That was a banger by that defense, man. So the final score ended up being 30 to 15, like I said. But then you take away 12 points because 2 of those, one of them was a bogus scoop and score, and then the other one was the pick 6 at the end. So that's 12 points. So all of a sudden this game is 18 to 15, and it's like, man, defense did good. They only gave up 2 touchdowns, and one of the drives for the touchdown was that one sucked. I think it was the one that was like in the beginning of the fourth quarter. I think it was at the beginning. They scored at the beginning of the fourth quarter, but I believe the drive might have even started like in the third quarter. But Arlington, they just went down the field and they were just crushing. Man, they were doing really good on that drive, and the defense didn't really have any answers. That being said, the defense held this rushing attack with Kalen Ballage. Kalen Ballage only had 8 yards rushing. He had 9 carries for 8 yards. I mean, they stuffed him. There's a team that had 73 rushing yards total. Day Hunter had 25. Man, he didn't go down, did he? I was wrong about that when I said that Day Hunter seems like the guy that you can get down in one touch. And sure enough, man, he was bouncing off of people. They had like an end around to Javonta Payton that was 24 yards. But no, I think the defense did really good against a team that would really like to establish the run. Luis Perez was 17 for 25 for 149, had the touchdown and an interception. And man, oh man, that interception was pretty, wasn't it? That Willie Harvey, it came down, just invaded him. There was that other almost interception where Chris Payton-Jones baited Luis Perez to throw to the outside, and he came down and almost had it too, man. That's two near interceptions for Chris Payton-Jones, who left the game at one point. I don't know if he came back in, which is tough, which is actually kind of even more remarkable that this defense held Arlington to 18 points on their, like, held their offense to 18 points purely because their secondary was kind of getting decimated on, I say the secondary, their cornerbacks. I mean, you had Miles Jones and then Miles Sims comes in, and it's like, woof. So yeah, man, I told you, man, that Luis Perez likes to pick on bad cornerbacks. And then when Chris Payton-Jones went out and Miles Sims came in for him, Luis Perez tried to target him, but Miles Sims is just like kind of blanketing the guy. I mean, he's a big, tall dude, big, tall, long dude. So that was good. But yeah, no, defense played great. I mean, how many drives did the Renegades had? This game had a shitload of drives. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They had 11 drives and only allowed points on 2 of them. So I mean, you can't really complain about that a whole lot. I mean, they were lighting up. They were lighting up and just making Luis Perez. They're like, hey, this guy's a mobile quarterback, and he did have that one run, which kind of sucks. It was for a first down on like a 3rd and 6 or something like that. It's like, God damn, I wish that didn't happen. But no, the defensive line was giving them hell the entire game, which is great because they weren't doing that at all last game. So that's a good thing. They were, when Luis Perez was throwing, the defensive line got the memo, and they're like, hey, what if we didn't just let the quarterback do whatever he wants without bothering him? They were living in his face mask, so that was kind of sick. I know that Mike Rose had a forced fumble that didn't turn into anything. Just the linebackers in general, man, they were kind of crushing it. Let's see if I had any other things about this. It was even before the Willie Harvey interception. I just wrote, Willie Harvey is winning on defense. And that's just about as good of a compliment that I can give somebody. I think that's pretty much what I got going on for this, man. It just kind of sucked. I don't want to take too much away from this offense. I think I probably can take more, and the more I think about it throughout the week, I probably will take more away from this offensive performance, because, I mean, it just sucks that they had an opportunity to bounce back and then they didn't because quarterback gets hurt and everybody's kind of panicking and everything like that. But I don't know. I'll trick myself into thinking that everything might be fine still. But it does suck that they just lost 2 games in a row to teams in their own conference. And they do play, what's their dicks? They do play Arlington again in 2 weeks. I believe that's a Friday night game, and it's at home that time, so that'll be good. But yeah, man, it was just kind of shitty. Just kind of shitty all the way around. And again, the game never seemed like this game. The Battlehawks were down at one point, 16 to 6. And it was like, they might still be in, like, they're down 10 points. And I'm like, this game somehow seems closer than the game did last week. It's like, even though the quarterback's down, like, the defense was playing really well. I mean, going back to all those drives, they forced 3 and outs on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They forced 3 and outs on 5 drives. But there was a stretch there where it was a 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and then a turnover on down. So I would consider, I mean, it's not going to be listed as a 3 and out, but there were 5 straight drives there where the defense just absolutely fucking wrecked whatever the Arlington was doing. Man, it was awesome. Like it was like the entire second and half of the third quarter, man. And then after that last 3 and out, we got the Willie Harvey interception. So I mean, the defense was playing great, and they need to be able to keep that kind of shit up, but. You know, what are you going to do? It's a quarterback coming in cold, never got any starting reps or anything. If it was Manny Wilkins in there the entire time and this happened on offense, I'd be smashing the panic buttons on offense. But new quarterback, man, we saw that he had flashes. We saw that he can do. It really just comes down to whether or not you trust the Big Tone and Phil McGeegan to draw up an offense that plays to his play style. I mean, like, that's Manny's whole thing. I will say that about Max Duggan, and maybe this is part of the play calling and his rustiness and everything like that. But the guy almost seemed too decisive, almost to a detriment. Like whenever he was like he knew that nobody was going to be open, like he was like, I'm fully committing to the run and like not doing the thing to kind of keep a linebacker or a defensive back like trying to play a little bit in coverage so that he can get closer to the line of scrimmage. It's like, no, when he tucked the ball, he tucked the ball. When he was going to launch the ball, he knew he was throwing to before he was like going like before the ball snap. He's like, I'm not going to make a read here. I'm just going to throw the ball deep. Like, and that's one of the things is like if this comes in with that audible play sheet that Phil McGeegan was talking about, or I think Cole Kublik said that he talked to Phil McGee, whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. It's like hopefully he can read a defense and make reads on offense. But no, he just had his mind made, and maybe they drew up some plays that he was supposed to read the defense and he wasn't moving off of reads quick enough, and that's why he was getting sacked and stuff like that. I don't know. I have to really go back and look at it and see where his eyes were pointing. But again, guy hasn't had reps with this offense, so what are you gonna do, man? We'll see next week. Duggan sacked again. He might die too. Honestly, man, that guy was getting smoked. He was getting. It's like, brother, you don't have to think that you're the toughest dude in the world. You are very tough, but you don't have to get punched in the mouth. You can if you want to. You don't have to get punched in the mouth. But yeah, I don't know, man. It stunk, and offense played poorly, defense played well, and then the other team's defense took advantage of a guy crying on the ground and a interception in a non-passing situation. So what are you going to do? All right. That is me. That is solid. I might be back with you guys later this week. I got a lot of shit going on in the Monday through Wednesday. I'm not even going to be in town. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, got the draft. So I'll be back with you definitely for a bird's eye preview for next week, but I might not be back for a recop for this completely. I'll probably try to do a little bit of a recop going into that bird's eye preview, but we'll see what my time allows me to do this week, and we'll go from there. But yeah, this has been a ReHawktion. I will be back with you guys at some point later this week, talking about the Battlehawks' potential to get back in the win column when they believe they're going up to Michigan. Let me pull up this schedule real quick. They are playing. Oh no, the next game, it's a home game. Sorry, they have 2 home games in a row. They're playing Michigan at home on April 26th at 6 p.m. So that's a week from today. So at least they get a full week's worth of rest this time. But yeah, so that's what we've got going on. I'll be back with you to preview that game later on this week. I'll talk to you later. Go Birds, go Ironbirds, go Battlehawks, cause the law, whatever you guys say, man. Whatever. If you say something to somebody, they're gonna know, like, they're gonna be like, oh, that's a Battlehawks guy. Like this morning I woke up, went to Schnucks, get some donuts, and then a guy was standing in line looking. It's like and he's standing like next to, like in front of the door with like all like the like the regular donuts, like you're talking like the Tiger Twists, the Glaze, the Long Johns. He's like looking at the stuff. It's like, buddy, these donuts have been around. Like if you wanted to stand in front of the donut that has like Fruity Pebbles and stuff on it, if you want to look and think about what donuts you want from there, absolutely, I do not blame you. But if you're looking at the one, it's like a chocolate one or a glazed one, it's like you should have come to this thing with a game plan. But I'm standing there behind him, and he turns around and he goes, oh, sorry, I'm taking up too much space. And I said, yep. But when I said that, obviously the guy was like, oh, he's just a Battlehawks guy. That's my point here. But yeah, anyway, this has been solid, and I'll talk to you guys later.